At Private Lender Link, we strive to keep the public informed on what's happening in the private lending industry. In this video, I'll provide the typical interest rates for short-term loans secured by residential investment properties, the rates for commercial real estate bridge loans, and the average rates for DSCR rental property loans. I'll also touch on the maximum leverage offered by most private lending companies, which are also known as hard money lenders or bridge lenders. This video was produced in August 2023. Much of the information I'll share was gathered from talking to many of our lender clients that are listed on privatelenderlink.com and from attending private lending conferences in the past 8 weeks. Let's start off with an update on pricing for residential investment properties and small multifamily deals. The interest rates for short-term loans up to 2 years are currently ranging from 10.5% to 13% for most lenders throughout the country, with the average being 11.5%. In California, I've seen a few private lenders still lending in the 8 to 9% range, but only for select deals with low leverage and strong borrowers. There's a separate sector of private lenders that focus on commercial real estate bridge loans with a minimum loan amount of $2 million. All of these lenders love multifamily, but they also consider other asset classes such as retail, industrial, hotels, assisted living, and more. From what I'm seeing, these lenders' rates range from the low 9s to 11.5%. For deals with a lot of hair on them or for small loan amounts, I've seen some lenders quoting up to 13%. The maximum leverage for short-term loans hasn't changed much in the past 9 months. Most lenders are still being conservative, with a maximum loan-to-value averaging around 65%. Several private lenders in our network are maxing out at 60%. Some lenders will go up to 70%. A few lenders still advertising that they will go up to 75%, but I'm a bit skeptical about that. And in most cases, whenever you see a lender's maximum loan-to-value, that's typically for a purchase loan. It's likely to be 5 to 10% lower for a refinance or equity cash out. With rehab loans for residential and small multifamily properties, most lenders are funding up to 80% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab budget. Borrowers need a 20% cash down payment for the purchase in most cases. Only one lender in our network funds 90% of the purchase price. Another lender funds 100% of the purchase and rehab, but only for borrowers with decent credit and verifiable income. We also have lenders that offer 100% financing in Wisconsin and Texas, but with a maximum loan to after repair value of 65%. Now let's move on to long-term DSCR loans for residential investment properties. The interest rates for these loans are currently ranging from 7.5% to 9%, with the average rate being around 8% for most of these loans. With DSCR loans, the rates will vary based on the debt service coverage ratio and the borrower's credit score, which has to be above 680 for most lenders. And the maximum leverage for these loans hasn't changed much. Most lenders advertise a maximum of 80% loan to value, but I don't think that's going to be offered to the majority of real estate investors. It seems like 75% is really the maximum at this time, so borrowers need a 25% cash down payment. And of course, the down payment could be higher depending on the debt service coverage ratio. For an equity cash out loan, the maximum is typically 70%, and some lenders can go up to 75%. Some private lenders offer DSCR loans for multifamily properties up to 10 units. The maximum leverage for multifamily properties is typically 5% lower than for residential investment properties with 1 to 4 units. The maximum for most lenders at this time is 70%, so investors will need a 30% cash down payment for a purchase. With the interest rate hikes over the past year, many private lending companies have been struggling due to the lower loan volume, and some lenders have even gone out of business. That said, there is still a lot of capital available, and many private lenders are eager to lend. If you're seeking private financing for an investment real estate deal, use our website privatelenderlink.com as a resource. All the companies listed on the site have a very detailed profile that shows their lending guidelines. Review each lender's profile to learn about the requirements and contact them directly. If you'd like us to review your deal and make recommendations, click the Create a Loan Request button. Provide some information about the deal for us to review, and we'll invite a few select lenders to look at it.